This is In Case You Missed It, your national agriculture news recap for the week ending May 8, 2026. Ammonia fertilizer prices will probably stay high for the rest of the year, says analyst Jake Preston. Preston is a senior analyst with Argus Media. He said 23% of global trade in ammonia has been shut down with the closing of the Strait of Hormuz. Exports from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Iran, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates were down about 300,000 tons per month from normal in March and April. The impact on ammonia prices was immediate and severe, Preston said. Regions east of the Suez Canal are also seeing a supply deficit. This is worsened by the idling of 4 nutrient production facilities in Trinidad and Tobago due to a gas dispute. West of the Suez, buyers have more options due to new U.S. production and waning demand. Preston said he assumes volumes from the Middle East will begin to flow by the end of May and should pick up in June and July. This should ease prices, but he expected they'd stay above average for the rest of the year. U.S. dairy exports to Canada have increased nearly 80% since 2020. That's according to data from the U.S. Department of Agriculture. 5 years ago, American businesses sold $736 million worth of dairy products to Canadian buyers. In 2025, that figure reached $1.31 billion. Canada is the second largest market for American dairy products behind Mexico and was the top buyer of U.S. butterfat. Canadian data puts the numbers much lower, but the trend lines are similar. According to Agriculture Agri-Food Canada, U.S. dairy imports increased by nearly 48% between 2022 and 2025. And yet, American dairy exporters are unhappy with Canada's persistent trade barriers. The U.S. Dairy Export Council says its members reported that it's a nightmare to get quota access in Canada. Under the cusma trade deal, the U.S. is entitled to 3.5% of Canada's dairy market, tariff-free, through tariff rate quotas. The Export Council said that most of the quota goes to dairy processors, and they would like access to retailers and restaurants. Canada's supply-managed dairy industry has been a persistent point of pain with American politicians and seems set to rear its head again as CUSMA is reviewed. Exemptions under the CUSMA trade deal have kept farm machinery manufacturers relatively stable, despite tariffs and trade tensions with the U.S. That's according to a new report from the Association of Equipment Manufacturers, which represents equipment makers across the agriculture, construction, and mining sectors. The association said 85% of Canadian equipment is CUSMA compliant. Most goods covered by CUSMA are exempt from U.S. tariffs. This has kept costs manageable. Equipment manufacturing saw 11% growth since 2022 and saw 3.3% growth in jobs. Manufacturing is selectively resilient, but uneven, said Association CEO Megan Tannell. The CUSMA trade deal is set to be reviewed this year. In case you missed these and other stories from across the Glacier Farm Media Network, visit AgCanada.com or download the AgCanada app.